Have you ever sat in your car in the driveway, engine off, phone buzzing, and for 5 whole minutes you just could not make yourself walk through that door because you knew the moment you did, everyone would need something from you? Welcome back to another episode of Soft Girl Era. I am LeAnne Dolce, and today I want you to lean in close because the woman we are about to learn from is someone I have been wanting to bring to this microphone for a long time. Her name is Maya Randle. She is a woman who built success from the ground up, who led with everything she had, who carried people on her back and never once complained about the weight. And then she did something that takes more courage than any boardroom ever demanded of her. She looked at the life she had built and she said, there has to be more than surviving. Today, Maya is teaching women that peace is not a reward you earn after you collapse. It is a decision you make before you get there. And if you have been the one holding it all together, this conversation is going to feel like someone finally sees you. Because here is what nobody talks about. Somewhere along the way, you learn that being needed means being loved. You learn that exhaustion is proof you are working hard enough. You learn that if you are the one everyone depends on, you have finally made it, and so you became the fixer, the caretaker, the dependable one. The woman who never says no, who never asks for help, who holds everything together with a smile and a to-do list that never ends. But there are two versions of you living inside the same body right now. One is the woman who keeps proving, keeps performing, keeps pushing because she is terrified that if she stops, everything falls apart and maybe she falls apart too. And the other version, the quieter one, the one you can barely hear over the noise, she just wants peace. She wants to wake up without dread. She wants to sit down without guilt. She wants to exist without having to justify her presence with productivity. And the conflict is not between those two women. The conflict is that you have been taught to call the first one strong and the second one weak. The world calls you strong, but the world never asks if you are tired. Do you know what it costs to stay in that proving place? It costs your nervous system. It costs your sleep. It costs you the ability to be present with the people you love because your mind is always somewhere else, always solving, always planning the next thing before you have finished the last. It shows up as exhaustion you cannot explain, anxiety that hums under everything, brain fog that makes you forget what you were saying mid sentence, sleepless nights where you stare at the ceiling running through everything you did not get done. It is the feeling of surviving instead of living, and we have normalized it. We have called it the cost of ambition. We have called it being a boss. We have called it being a strong woman. But here is what Maya said that stopped me in my tracks. She said, we mistake survival for success. We look at a woman who is barely holding it together and we celebrate her hustle. We never stop to ask if she is okay. We never stop to ask ourselves, and the catalyst, the shift, it does not start with a new planner or a better morning routine. It starts with a question. Maya said the real shift happens when you stop asking, how do I fit more into my day? And you start asking, why do I believe I have to carry all of this by myself? That question changed everything for her because the first question assumes the problem is time management. The second question reveals the real issue. You believe you are supposed to carry it all. You believe asking for help is failure. You believe rest is something you have to earn. So let me take you through what this looks like when you actually start living it. The first thing Maya teaches is that a soft life is not about luxury. It is not about escaping responsibility. It is an internal decision before it is an external lifestyle. It is deciding your nervous system deserves peace, that your body is not a machine, that rest is not something you earn after burnout. It is something you require to function. Think about that. How many times have you said, I will rest when I finish this project, or I will take a break after the kids are asleep, or I will slow down after this season? And the season never ends, does it? The project becomes the next project, the task becomes the next task. Rest keeps getting pushed to a finally that never comes. Maya said that to us. She said finally never came because finally was never about finishing the list. It was about worthiness. You did not believe you deserved rest until you had produced enough to justify it. But rest is not a paycheck. You do not earn it. You need it. The lesson. Your body is not waiting for you to finish your to-do list. It is waiting for you to choose it. The second thing is about relationships. Maya said a soft life means choosing relationships where you do not have to audition for love. How many of your relationships feel like you are performing? You show up as the helpful one, the available one, the one who never has needs, the one who makes it convenient for everyone else. You shrink yourself so you do not burden anyone. You overfunction so you do not get left. But a woman who has decided her peace matters does not audition. She lets people see her tired. She lets people see her uncertain. She says, I need help without apologizing 3 times before the sentence ends. She sets boundaries without writing a 10-page explanation. She says no without guilt. The lesson: the people who love you for real do not need you to earn it, and the ones who do need you to earn it were never going to fill you up anyway. The third thing Maya wants you to hear is this: joy is productive. I know, that sounds like a contradiction. We have been taught that productivity looks like spreadsheets and deadlines and crossed off tasks. But Maya said joy is productive. When you let yourself receive, when you laugh without checking your phone, when you take a walk without listening to a podcast about how to be better, when you eat a meal without thinking about what you should have eaten instead, that is productive. You are producing something your soul has been starving for. Thriving is not the absence of challenges, it is having enough inner peace that challenges no longer define your identity. You are not your problems. You are not your to do list. You are not your productivity. The lesson: joy is not the reward for finishing, it is the reason you are here. And here is the part that made me respect her even more. She was honest with me about what she is still working on. Maya told me that even now, even after everything she has learned and everything she teaches, she is still working on believing she does not have to earn rest. Her identity was tied to being the woman who gets things done, the dependable one, the one who shows up, and for a long time finally never came because it was never about productivity, it was about worthiness. She did not believe she was enough unless she was producing, helping, fixing, carrying. Rest felt unproductive to her. Saying no felt selfish. And she told me healing is not a straight line. Some days she sets beautiful boundaries and she is proud of herself. Other days she slips, she overcommits, she says yes when she means no. But the difference now is that she notices sooner, she catches herself, and instead of shame, she gives herself grace. She told me she serves better and leads better when she is rested. She said, I am not speaking from a mountaintop, I am walking the path too. And that is the part one needs you to hold on to. If a woman who teaches this for a living is still walking the path, then you do not have to have it all figured out today either. The universal principle is this: your worth was never something you had to prove. It was something you were born with, and the world trained you to forget. So here is what I want you to do. Not next month, not next year, today. Pick one thing. Say no to one thing that drains you and do not explain it for 10 minutes. Take a walk without your phone and do not call it unproductive. Ask for help with one thing you have been carrying alone. Book the therapy appointment. Tell one person what you actually need. Let yourself rest, and when the guilt shows up, because it will, let it sit there without answering it. You do not have to break before you give yourself permission to heal. You do not have to earn the rest your body is begging for. You are allowed to choose peace over proving, thriving over surviving, joy over overwhelm. And when you do, you give every woman watching you permission to do the same. Healing is contagious, and so is burnout. So choose what you want to spread. And if you are ready to stop carrying it all alone, come join us in the Wake Up Happy Sis community. It is a space for women who are releasing the pressure of being everything for everyone. You do not have to perform here, you just have to show up. Maya left us with this, and I want you to hear it the way she said it, with the steady conviction of a woman who has been in the trenches and found her way to solid ground. You don't have to do it all, not because you're incapable, but because you were never supposed to. The strongest woman in the room isn't the one carrying the most, it's the one who finally put some of it down. Say it with me if you are ready. I release the need to prove my worth. My existence is enough, and your soft life doesn't begin when life gets easier. It begins the moment you decide your peace matters too.